All right, so now that you have the basics down for how to put in the chords the one of two ways, I want to show you a couple arranging tips that will help keep the way that we chart our songs consistent. So remember, when we're putting in our arrangement, you should always use the PCO arrangement. That is the official arrangement, and we're going to try to match it to what's in playback. All right, so we go into our lyrics and chords tab. Again, remember, it's just like Google Docs. No back button, no undo. So whatever you change is changed forever. You have to go back in and fix things. So let's assume now for a moment that our song is fully charted. All right. We have our songs in, whether we've charted with our brackets or whether we've charted just putting the chords over the place in the songs that we want. Now we've also gone in and remember we're adding our measure marks. So you either add the measure mark inside the bracket, just like that, or you add it in front of wherever the measure of 1 is. So we can do that. Now, a couple tricks to keep things consistent. We want to keep the titling, let's keep all of that in all caps. So I'm going to write here chorus 1, verse 1. Now, even though playback will only call a chorus or a bridge, I like, as we go, doing chorus 1. The next time we sing a chorus, I'm going to call it chorus 2. Then we sing a chorus again, I'm going to call it chorus 3. And the reason I do this is because when we're working with musicians, then I can say, hey, call back to chorus 3. Remember, we're going to build on the third line. They know immediately where I'm at. I don't have to say, you know, the chorus that's after the bridge, after the second time in the third column on the second page. It just helps us identify places quickly in rehearsal. So we'll have chorus 1. So then again, this one, whether it's the same chorus, whether none of the chords may change, nothing. Whether it's the same chorus or not, I'm going to call it chorus 2. And then if there's another chorus in here, imagine there's another chorus maybe after this bridge here, I'm going to call it chorus 3. Okay? So that happens. I do the same thing if there's a bridge. I will say, let's say there's 2 different places of bridges. So I'll do bridge 1, and then let's say there's a bridge after chorus 3. I'm going to call it, even though it might be the exact same music as bridge 1, I'm going to call it bridge 2 so that when we're talking to musicians, we can call them back to that placeholder. All right. So we label them with capitalization and we label them in sequential order to how we're going to call it out in a rehearsal. Couple other things that I started pointing out in the last video is there's a few editing tools in here. You'll see under options, you can add in column breaks and page breaks. But more importantly, I use italics a lot. Sometimes you'll notice some of our charts are bolded. I don't really mess around too much with the bolding. That's not that big of a deal to me unless I say repeat and I put that between bold. But anything you want italicized or anything you want bolded, you have to put in this format. So let's say that this is going to be a full band chorus. I'm going to do these little brackets like a little chicken eye. So there is my I, and it can be a caps or it can be lowercase. It doesn't matter. The formatting doesn't care. See, I put that little I in there. And then I'm going to go full band. Or I could do, electric, lead, add bass or whatever you want. Any sort of band callouts that you want to do. Now, the whole rest of your song you're going to notice is going to be italicized unless you close out that italices. So you have to do the little chicken thing again, and then right under the question mark is going to be a forward slash. That closes it out. Then you put your I and another little chicken thing. If you're wondering, if you're always forgetting those, just hover over the options tab and it will show you. And now you see that it says electric lead add bass. It's in italics, so any of those little marks that we want to do, we can put in there. Let's say we're going to do verse 2 twice and we want to repeat it. I'll do that little chicken thing. I'll do the bold. So maybe I want to bold it this time and I'll say repeat. And then I do the chicken thing. I close the italices. I put the bold and then the close. I know I'm calling it a chicken thing. I have no idea what that thing is called for real. But again, you see how I did this. This was the formatting that I did. And then it shows up down here as repeat. All right. Last thing I'll do as we close out this video, I just want to show you one format that we like to do. If you hit the format button and then you put columns 1 or 2, the default is 1, but we definitely want that in 2. So I have 2 columns. So as this goes down, you'll see that we'll end up going into the next column. So always let me know if you have any questions, and thanks again for charting.